What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Today we back on it's complicated. Shout out to It's Complicated. I think the last video I did on on his channel, he actually left a comment on my video. Shout out to that brother right there. And today the title of the video is Gender Equality: Rules of Modern Dating and Understanding Women. It's Complicated. That's actually a lovely you know title for the video. But let me talk less and let's actually get into it. And before we start, hope everybody out there having a good day, enjoying themselves, doing what they need to do, and stuff like that. So take care to everybody. Let's go.
Do you believe in gender equality?
I do. I mean, I think it's great that we, consider each gender for who they are and what they need. I do think that maybe there are things that can be contributed differently from each gender, but I mean, I kind of think that's kind of dependent on the relationship you're in.
How can men and women be equal if we're not the same?
Well, we can be equal because we're all just humans on Earth, honestly. There's no really difference between biological differences in DNA.
I have a big thing about this when they're trying to put like equality for men and women. We're not equal at all.
Oh my God! Finally, somebody said it. We're not the same. People got to get this whole like we like on a on the same playing field. Like me and the next man, we're not the same. We're not the same person. So therefore, we cannot be equal. So if me and a man and another, young brother is in the same place, same everything, right? In the same situation, we might deal with it very differently. We think very differently. We're not the same people. We might deal with certain, problems very differently. We might take certain situations. We might take it in a very different way. So therefore, we cannot be equal. I don't know where people get this whole equality thing. That men and women is equal. Well, we're not equal because we're not the same. We don't think the same. We don't do the same things. We don't take part in the same activities. Yes, now we might have similarities. Absolutely, we do. But in the sense of us being equal, that is not true because we don't think the same. That that is the number one thing. We don't think the same, and we don't have the same things. Like physically, we're very different physically. So therefore, we cannot be the same. So this whole thing that we are just, equal and equality is supposed to be a thing, that is just delusion. It's absolute delusion, right? And I'm gonna stand on what I say. Let's continue.
I don't care, what everybody says. Yes, I know about the pay and everything, but it's just like we're totally different.
I guess it depends in what way we think about it. Like if we're thinking about it in a loving relationship, I think making sure you think of each other as partners and equals can do that.
I believe in equality in a lot of ways, but I do think that men and women have different roles, maybe sometimes.
How can men and women be equal if we're not the same?
I think there should be equality in things like paying and
No, no, okay. Now, people, that is the number one thing people bring up when they say, well, men and women should be equal because we should get the same amount of pay. You get pay, or you get a higher pay by the work you put in. If you don't work hard, if you're not valuable in any way, if you're not valuable to the company, where the company could say, well, this young man or this young lady is exceptional to our company. So therefore, I will give that person a raise. I'll give that young man or that young lady a raise because the work they put in is actually helping my company, is boosting up the value of my company. They're adding value to my company. So therefore, I feel like they should get a raise. So if I'm doing the bare minimum, I'm not putting no extra work. I'm not, going hard. I'm not doing the things I need to do. I'm not trying to better the company. I'm just saying, oh, I'm just saying for a check. That's all I want. But why do I expect to get more? Just because, well, I tried. Things doesn't life don't work like that. I don't know where people get this understanding of things is just like, well, everything's supposed to be just my way. Me, 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 me. I don't know where people get that. And we are not equal. And if you want equal pay, well, you have to put in work. You have to be valuable. That is the number one thing it comes down to. You have to be valuable. Get that for your brain, people. You have whether you're a man or a woman. It don't have to do nothing with gender. I'm just saying, as a person, you have to be valuable, right? People must see you as well. That person is an exceptional person. Well, they deserve that. Not just because you feel that way about yourself. That don't mean other people think of you that way. I think that's where people get it wrong. Just because they feel a certain way about themselves, they feel like, well, others should feel that way. No, you have to do your best, and people should see that. And then people should say, well, that person is a great person. Not just because you credit yourself, people will credit you.
Being able to have bank accounts and things that we didn't even have less than 50 years ago.
How can men and women be equal if coochie costs more money than dick?
That's
Hi, we're Visible. Getting set to travel this summer and need a wireless plan that'll keep you connected on
an interesting one. I think that's one that has to do with like the way society has put coochie as something that has to be paid for and dick doesn't.
How likely will women pay for dick or make coochie free?
I think women are more likely to make coochie something very expensive and dick free.
How can men
Well, I was actually watching something not too long ago, and because the reason why, I would say Gucci is very high on the list, because is the quick release you get out of it. I feel like that is the number one thing. In a sense, where I would say, well, every viscosity can make a man ejaculate very easy, but not every, what I'm saying, not every man who have a Johnson can make a bit ejaculate. So that's the difference. That's just me. That's just my thinking of it. So that's why I think coochie is more expensive, because it has a the return rate on it is very is very high. So yeah, that's just my piece.
men and women be equal if we have double standards?
Double standards. Okay, let me not speak about this. I'm going to say something really bad.
No, I don't know.
Double standards exist because I'm going to get canceled. I can't say this.
well, let's not have double standards.
We need to get rid of the double standards.
Can you think of any double standards that don't benefit women?
I don't know.
Double standards exist because of the people who believe they're more important than everybody else when it comes to their gender, their rights, etc. I feel like double standards should not exist. I don't know if I'm making sense, but they exist to a certain extent with certain people.
All right, this is a little more raunchy, but how can men and women be equal if coochie costs more money than dick?
That's a little. That's actually. I plead the fifth.
Well, I mean, how likely will women pay for dick or make coochie free?
I don't think women pay for dick as much as men pay for women. So
doesn't that
men are
prove?
more desperate. That's why.
that does kind of prove a point.
Not to this young lady, I wouldn't say men are more desperate. Is like women have limited options, because women have the things that they you know men would find attractive on them. Not every man is born with his value. He have to create it, you know, for a long-term process of him building himself into a certain man, and building himself into somebody who's worthy of even getting a woman. So therefore, he has to build what he has. As a woman, she's born with it. She has the things that she needs, for men to just naturally like her, right? That's all it is. Even though she might have a stinking attitude, some guys will still deal with her, right? But as a man, if you have a stinking attitude and you're like, you just don't give a fuck, and you have nothing, no value to add to the world or the people around you, well, therefore you won't get you won't get none. You won't. And unfortunately, that's just how it is. I'm not complaining. I'm good over here, but I'm just saying that's just how it is.
What does equality look like to you?
What equality looks like to me is not looking down on another person based off something that they can't control.
Equality to me is like being 50-50, always both putting in hard work and dedication into a relationship.
Do women want to be equal or do women want to be special?
I think both.
Isn't that a contradiction?
I think they want to be both. They want to be special and equal.
When do women want equality and when do they want special treatment?
They want equality when it comes to, I would
Power and money. Power and money. That's it.
say, like work and pay wise, but special treatment, they want to be, I want this, I want that, I want these rings, I want these clothes, I want you to buy this for me.
I want a man to take care of me. I want him to provide for me, but I will take care of him if he takes care of me as well.
It depends if you want to play the female role, the male role, or do you guys just want to be equal partners? I
And that's how you weaken society, saying stuff like that. But the man have to do. As the man, you have to. Because tell you what, the woman will come on camera and she could say whatever she wants. And then you will believe it. And then wonder why she don't respect you. As the man you lead, you supposed to be taking care of the household. That's how it always been. And moving forward, that's how it's always gonna be. And it's not getting easier. It is not getting easier. So all the talk, well, we supposed to be equal and we're just partners. And when do you ever hear that work? When? Where? Because I haven't seen it. Because majority of the marriages I've seen where the woman have more control than the man, it always goes downhill. Trust me, it always goes downhill. Always, always. And recently, I just saw it. I just saw it recently. It's like the women have all the power and the men have no say. It's like, oh my God, no respect, disrespectful. But who am I to say anything? I just pay attention from a mile away. And I'm like, well, that's not gonna be me. I'm good. Especially if the men running the relationship, it lasts longer. It's better. And I'm not saying women are bad people. It's just like when they're in a position of power, they become bad people. That's all it is. And I don't blame them. I don't blame them, right? Because you give them the power, so they're gonna do whatever they want, right? That's just how it is. That's just how it is, bro. Let's continue.
I lean into my feminine energy, so I know what I'm best at, and I can do what I'm best at, and hopefully my man is doing what he's best at, and we come together, and it's perfect balance.
Why would women who used to be protected and provided for choose to work and pay taxes instead?
I think there's a power in self-sufficiency and independence, and I don't know, when I walk around and know that I can do whatever I want with whatever money I make or anything like that, there's a big power in that, and then it chooses people not to feel like they can decide what I do.
At the time, like I said, we didn't have bank accounts, we couldn't buy our own houses, so we want to be able to survive on our own. And now that we can survive on our own, now we have the option to be on our own, be independent women, or we can also have a traditional life with a man.
Why do women get to pick and choose any more than a man does?
Women pick and choose less.
First-time business owner, there's a lot to learn, and having Taylor along with me through this process.
Yes, I want my man to tell me where I'm eating for dinner.
What does it mean when women say that men are supposed to lead, and how is that different than patriarchy?
Well, honestly, in the modern day, and I can speak this to my own relationship, like I want to be an equal in my relationship, but as how men are brought up, I feel like being so motherly to a boy can make them not as self-sufficient. So when the next woman comes in as their partner.
So do you see all the stuff they've been talking about? It doesn't make no sense. Do you see it? Does it make sense to you now? Do your eye do it now? Do you realize all what they saying that it doesn't make any sense? When is it gonna make sense to you? When you gonna open your eyes and see, well, okay, this is nonsense. Listen, I'm all for women doing what they have to do, and them working or doing whatever. I'm not against that. I'm not against that. But equal for what? What are we equal for? We're not equal. There's always somebody at the head and somebody, following the lead of the person's the head. That's always how it's been. There's never been an equal playing field in nothing you do, in anything you do. There is never a never equal in nothing you do. Right? If you have a group, there's always a head. No, none of us are equal in the group. So all of us have different talents, different skills, different abilities, think very differently, right? So therefore, we cannot be equal. We're just not. I don't know where people get this whole nonsense of thinking we could be equal. But I just want a partnership and I just want us to be equal. It's not gonna work.
They're not feeling like they're equals anymore because we still have to almost baby them because they're not like ready. So it's like when they take lead, it's almost showing like it's for once I can maybe not make a decision or I can be led into something where I don't have to give more thought than my partner.
Why do people believe that chivalry is dead and feminism killed it?
It did. It absolutely 100% did. Women push for too much of equality. I want a man's man. I want him to treat me like a man. I want equal opinions, but at the same time, I definitely want a man that can protect, hold doors open, do things for me. I want to be feminine. I don't want to be like a man. Some women do, and that's okay. Not my thing, but I do think feminine.
And what do you call that? That is delusion. That is absolutely stupidity. That's what that is. Why? Why? Where did we get that? Where, where did the brainwashing start? Where? It had to start somewhere. It had to. There's no way now we're in society and we battling between the two genders. There's no way. And like I'll always say that we do need each other. We definitely do. I would never come on here and say I don't need a woman. That is not something I would ever say. Never in my life. Never. I would never say I don't need a woman. I absolutely do. I absolutely do. Right? I would never say that. No matter what happened. I would never say I don't need a woman. Yes, we do need each other. Men need women, women need men. Because together we are so powerful. We're basically unstoppable. But if we have an understanding of what our roles are in society, if we play to our roles, society will run better. We won't have all this chaos happening in society right now. We won't have it. We just wouldn't have it because we'll have understanding of what our roles are. We'll play it and tell you what all the propaganda you're trying to feed into the families and the people and especially the young children, it won't be happening because therefore we have more control over our family structure, and the things we need to have control over, the things we need to take care of, the things we need to protect. So therefore, we wouldn't have so much nonsense in society right now. I guarantee we won't. And it's not going back to the old days. It's just more of a understanding of what we need to be. What we need to do in society, and know our rules and stick to it, and don't try to change it up and say, "Well, I could do that as well." No, just stick to your role and I stick to mine. Simple as that. And life will go smoother and easier for not just me, but you as well.
Feminism kind of ruined it for us.
Do women want to be independent while also being provided for? And if so, who's more delusional in their wants?
Actually, yeah, that's probably pretty true. I'm going to be honest with that one. We're probably more delusional. We want equality. We want this, but we want a man to take care of us too. So, yeah, women are definitely, that's our problem.
How can chivalry and equality coexist? Isn't that a contradiction?
That's true. That is true. I believe in equality, not chivalry.
Why do people believe that chivalry is dead and feminism killed it?
I don't know. They shouldn't believe that. I think feminism lifts up women and chivalry can go both ways.
Well, why doesn't it typically go both ways where, men are expected to approach women, ask them out, pick them up, pay for dates, make the first move. Why aren't women expected to do all those things as the standard?
We're stuck in traditional ways, and I think it's badass if women go up to men.
What? Ask her, please ask her. When the last time you approached a man?
So do I.
People have this idea about feminism right now. There's like a huge gender war, right? And they say feminism is pretty much hating men and not needing men. And really, feminism is wanting equality.
How did feminism go from being about equality to now it's about wanting equity?
Maybe not feeling equal feels like something's taken from them. So you're always going to grab for more if you feel like there's something diminished or lacking in your life.
Do feminists believe in equality even when it doesn't benefit them?
Feminists? Probably not. I don't know. The only reason I'm not sure about that is just because I don't know if I'm 100% feminist, but if feminists do want equality, then they can't have it all about themselves.
If you were at the top of a hierarchy, would you still want equality even if it was a step down for you?
Is this in a relationship or is this in any regard?
How do you interpret that?
Well, if it was a relationship, yeah. If I'm take right now my relationship, if I'm at the top, then I feel like he's not going to lead, which means all power and decisions come on me. It's exhausting. If I was in my job, if I felt I did my job really well and I was above, I don't believe in equality there, because if I'm the best person to do the job, then I believe I should be the one leading the position.
Do you believe in 50-50 relationships?
Okay, and that is a great example. So why would you listen to your boss but not listen to your boyfriend or husband? Why? Somebody about you. Your boss don't care. He gonna let you go like nothing happened. Tell you what, he go get somebody the next day. But your boyfriend, he cares about you. He loves you. Why not show him the same respect, the same admiration you have for your boss or your manager? That's the problem right there. That's it right there.
Or traditional roles, and why?
I believe in 50-50.
How can relationships ever be 50-50 if the man is always the one who's expected to sacrifice himself for the woman and serve her with chivalry?
That wouldn't be 50-50. I think traditionally men are expected to give more, but in a healthy relationship, whoever is able to gives more than the other.
If we accept that premise, wouldn't that inequality manifest itself in all of our laws and institutions?
Yes, it would, and that's not fair.
Well, how do you see that happening?
In the government, and in our...
Hold on. Yo, was that a cockroach in the back? Hold on. I'm tripping. Hold on.
Wouldn't that inequality manifest itself in all of our laws and institutions?
Yes, it would, and that's not fair.
Well, how do you see that happening?
That's a cockroach in the back, man. Tough.
In the government, and in our societal expectations for each other.
Especially in the family courts, right?
Yes, sir.
I know my man doesn't do that because we're 50-50 in our relationship, but I know in other relationships, they're expecting a certain type of man to provide for them, but also like what's theirs is ours and what's ours is ours as well. That doesn't make sense to me.
What are your thoughts on the expression happy wife, happy life? Why not happy spouse, happy house? Isn't that more of an equal arrangement?
It is equal, but I think when the wife is happy, everything runs more smoothly, because when the wife is happy...
I got a question for you. For the folks at home who don't know about campus yet, tell them...
Happy, it's just like a happier lifestyle.
If I'm happy, we're all going to be happy, because if I'm in a bad mood, I'm going to make it known that I'm in a bad mood, and everybody is not going to have a good time. But if I'm good, then we're all going to be good, and it's going to be great.
Yeah, that is pure insanity I just watched.
If your wife is happy, she's going to treat you like a king all the time, because you treat her like a queen. She's going to do the same to you.
Happy wife, happy life, that's a pretty traditional term. Honestly, our parents believe in it, but not so much these days.
Why not happy spouse, happy house? Isn't that more of an equal arrangement?
It is, but it depends. Like, are both putting in that same effort for both to be happy?
Why not happy spouse, happy house? Isn't that more of an equal arrangement?
I think that's just as true.
So why don't we have that expression?
I would say because men, what they do is more tangible. Men are protectors and providers. You can see that. It's more physical. What women do is more esoteric and spiritual and emotional and supportive. And so, if you know a good woman, you know what a good woman can do for your life.
Why do you think women want equality in everything except for dating?
Women want to be superior. They want to be the one above. They always want to.
Let me just say this, okay? Right, for the whole feminist movement, right? Men are still giving women orders. So who's still running everything? Men are still giving women orders. So when women say, "Well, I'm independent and I got my own business," but there's a man still running everything, brother. Trust me. For that woman you see, she got this, that, and all them things. There's a man behind that running that that business for her, bro. Who's structuring in a certain way, but she just follow what he say. Yeah, but she'll never tell you that, but that's just how it is. The boss babe and all that. There's still a man running that, bro. Whether you want to believe it or not, but it's very real.
Know that they are better than the other.
So why do women say they want equality when they actually want superiority?
They want equality when they want men to understand their feelings. They want men to know that they are also capable of emotions.
Why do women get to pick and choose any more than a man does?
Because women have high expectations. They want everything to happen for a reason, and they think that if it doesn't, then it's not meant to be.
I want a man want a man in the bedroom, but I want equality and respect for just my opinion. You don't have to agree with it, but you definitely have to respect it.
Do feminists believe in equality even when it doesn't benefit them?
I don't really think so.
Could you give me an example of what you mean?
There might be certain responsibilities that women don't want to take on because maybe it's a masculine role or something like that.
Let's say, for example, being drafted into war.
Yeah.
So this is one of the situations where gender equality comes into play, because there are certain situations which...
Well, we definitely not equal then. Equal is the same. So if I go to war, you have to go to war as well. Right? You're a big girl, right? Yes, as well.
You don't want to be equal across the board, because there are certain situations and areas where men are just going to be more for that role. So there's no reason to...
But that just breaks the whole term of being equal. You clearly just said that we just are not this equal. Listen to what you just say, young lady. You just said, right? Well, men are more fitting for that role. What did I say earlier? If we overstood our roles in society, again, listen to what I say. If we stick to our roles in society, we play our roles in society, society would not be where we're at right now. She clearly said it. Men are more fitting for that role. Well, men are fitting for certain roles, women are fit for certain roles. So therefore, we have to play our role. As a man, you have to play a role. As a woman, you have to play your own. So trying to, break a barrier and say, well, I can do what the men do as well. Again, you going against exactly what you just said. Because you just say, well, men are more fit for that. That's you going against equality. Sorry to tell you. That's just what it is.
To enlist all women into the military 18 versus all men, even though Israel already does that and they're doing great. So maybe we should learn from them as well. Why not?
Which of the following is worse? Feminists who only want equality when it benefits them, or religious conservatives who don't believe in equality at all?
I think probably the first one, because at least the religious people expect it, versus feminists, they want it their way, but they also want equality.
Why are men still expected to provide for women who can provide for themselves and are celebrated for it?
That's a really interesting thing on the expectation of that, because most of the men I meet now, even though it's expected that people can do 50-50 in the relationship and women can work and contribute to the relationship, most men now feel like it's their duty to provide, and it makes them feel lacking when they can't.
Isn't telling men that it's their masculine duty to protect and provide for women really just telling men to place women on a pedestal above themselves?
I think, yeah, in a way it is. Definitely.
Well, is that equality?
No.
No, I don't think so. I think sometimes girls just like to be spoiled.
Wouldn't men like to be spoiled by women?
Yes, and women should spoil their men as well.
So then why aren't women expected to protect and provide for men?
They can do that too.
But why is that not typically the standard expected the way it is for men to do that for women?
I don't know. It should be. We should all support each other.
But why isn't it?
She just going against all the questions, going around it. Baby, just answer the question. Why not? Why isn't it something? Well, they should. No, no, no. Why isn't it something?
They don't know. I mean, honestly, take a look at everything we do. If there's a fire, they say women and children first. So, I mean, if we can also get rid of that, that can be helpful towards that. But, I mean, it can be putting them on a pedestal. But again, it also comes from like that internal teaching and teaching from a young age of men if they need to be the provider. And if we don't put it that way and we show that everyone can be either the stay-at-home mom or the stay-at-home dad, or someone can provide more for the partnership with still being an equal and have a say, then I think we can move forward in a better way.
Do you believe in the God, man, woman, child hierarchy? And if so, should everyone be held to that standard when we're trying to promote gender equality?
You know what? So I think that I myself believe in God and believe that he's my higher power, but I think that that's why there's different religions, different gods, different things to believe in, because I think there has to be something for everybody. That's my opinion, and I feel that you can believe in what you want, and I'm going to respect you 100%, and I can believe in what I want, and you should respect me. No judgment.
Wasn't religion the original patriarchal system?
Yeah, you got that one.
So then why are women blaming all men for patriarchy when it's really religious people who are pushing that?
That's kind of religious people and feminisms and everybody else, so I can't necessarily just blame women on that one. I mean, it's religious and
Honestly, before the video ends, religion is there to control you. That's all it is. It's nothing more, nothing less. Just push a narrative to have you believe in certain things. I'm not saying God is not real. God is very real. You could believe in God. But the whole idea of religion, well, I'm that religion, I'm that religion. No, I don't see that because, a lot of these people are just, they play like, it's like they're very like laid back people. They'll say, well, God will fix it. God will fix it. And they will take no action. And people like that, I can't stand people like that. Because why waiting on God? Why not playing your part? Why not doing your part for society? So when God comes, well, at least you see the people who put in work and you can be like, oh, okay, yeah, we can better this stuff. You know, the, whatever it is, it always starts with you. It always comes back to you. So if you say, well, God will take care of it, I don't. That's not you. You're not a true believer in God. If you say, well, God will just handle it, and not do your part, not take part in what you have to do. Right? But that's just my take on it. That is the end of the video. If you like the video, leave a like, comment, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.